Welcome back to Par Breakers Golf Academy. Today we're going to take a look at the swing of Bubba Watson, this year's Masters champion, and his second green jacket. So Bubba has what would most of us think is a pretty unorthodox swing, but it is paying huge dividends for him. Within two Masters, within 3 years, is quite an accomplishment, and there's not a lot of people who have achieved this. So what we're going to do is we're going to really take a look at how does he get this incredible power, okay? How is he crushing the ball so far? And here's the thing that we have to remember, though. When we really go for massive power, a lot of times accuracy is compromised. Now, Bubba is very accurate to the point where he can control a lot of the times when everything is going well for him where the ball is going to end up. So, because he's not hitting a straight ball, that's for sure. So he's hitting the ball and he's shaping shots. Okay, so he's hitting cut shots, and he's hitting draws, he's hitting hooks, and he's hitting slices. So most of these shots that he takes are due to the fact that he's creating so much torque, okay, and it's really difficult for the average player to be able to create this much torque and get the ball to the target, okay, consistently. So we're going to see how he creates all this, though. So setup-wise, what I want you to notice is that Bubba stands fairly tall at address, okay? He has a little bit of knee flex here, not a lot. And as he starts the club back, what I want you to notice is that the shaft kind of just goes right down the line there, okay, and points right down the target line. Now, Bubba gets the club very much out in front of him. If we look out over here to the side on, we can still see that, let's move this way just a little bit, we can still see that by this point, that club head is in front of his chest, okay? So we're seeing, it's looking like we're seeing a lot of strange motion here, okay, and his arms are very, very well extended. Now, to keep that club very much in front of your sternum at this point, because he's just about at 8 o'clock right now, but to keep that club very much in front of your sternum and then have that much extension in your arms, it's not a real easy thing to do, okay? So what we have to remember, though, is that Bubba is self-taught, okay, and he's worked on this move for quite a while, and he does it very well. Now, if those arms outrace his body a little bit on the way back or got real inside, then we would notice there'd be some problems there. But what I want you to notice too, though, and let's just draw a little line here, okay, on where his hands are at address in relationship to his feet, and then let that go back. And notice how those hands just travel right on a straight line, okay? So it may look like he's taking the club inside, okay, but he's really not. And it may look like he's taking the club way outside, okay, and he's really not. Okay, so looks can be deceiving, all right? And as he starts to get to the top, notice that he's already parallel to the ground, and then his right elbow, or well, actually his left elbow, because he's a lefty, is going to start to hinge. So, and we'll see that here. That hand gets parallel to the ground. Okay, so right now, he's got the club way in front of him. Okay, and then he's going to hinge it up to the top. And that right elbow, or that left elbow, is going to have a nice fold in it at the top. Okay, so as he comes down, there's a major rotation of the lower body, clearing, and that has to happen because of this. A lot of this overswing that Bubba has, or what we think is overswing, okay, really is not as much overswing as you think. because he really makes a huge turn at the top, okay? And here's some other things that are really important in this swing for us to understand. So let me get rid of that last line that I just drew there accidentally. So as he's at the top here, okay, what I want you to notice is that left leg at the top straightens. Let's look at that, because there's the top right there, and that left leg is pretty straight now, okay, and there's just a little bit of tiny knee flex in that leg. And what I want you to notice here is that his head, okay, is well back. So what we're going to call, or I don't want to say what we're going to call, what we call Bubba's anchor here, or his center. Bubba is a two-post swinger, so he goes back around his left leg, or his back foot, okay, and then as he swings down, he's going to pivot around his front foot, okay. So as he's at the top here, he's really staying balanced on his back foot. That's why he can lift that front foot so much and not really shift all over the place, okay, where his head is still pretty solid. So if we go back to address, we can see that at address, oops, a little jump there. At address, his head, and this can be camera position too, but his head is actually back behind that ball pretty good. He's got some solid tilt there, and that's because his anchor is his back leg. As he gets to the top, there he pivots around that anchor, and then he's going to start back down. He's going to clear, and he's going to stay over that anchor, okay? But notice how the heel comes up. So let's look at that. Those hips clear, and he's staying over that anchor. Notice how those heels are coming up off the ground. So here's how he's creating his power. He's creating his power straight up off the ground and remaining still on his anchor, okay? This is really tough to do, folks, okay, for the average player, and to do it consistently. The other thing that we can look at here is at impact. All right, we're really seeing, let's try to get this to move a little bit here. We're really seeing his hips wide open, okay, at impact. All right, now the face is very square though, and his hands are right back on that line. This is tremendous talent, guys. This is absolutely tremendous talent that is not easy to do consistently. Okay, as he goes through, he releases that club out away from him. There's his full extension. Why does he do that? Well, we'll get into that in another time. Okay, but if we look at where Bubba's hand is right now, his left hand at impact, his left hand is facing the sky. Okay, and his right hand is flat and facing the target. And that face is square. Now, for most of us, if we were to flip him around and make that his right hand and have it face the sky at impact, there'd be a lot of balls going right. Okay? But that release happens way out in front of him, and that's where that extension happens. And look at how that extension is incredibly straight out in front of him. So if we look at that and get rid of this one and draw a line right here, bang, incredible. Okay, full finish, up on his toes, finish it. Little bit of a, still a little bit of a but it has full weight shift. He's on that heel, okay, but that head is just behind that front heel, okay, so he has had a total release, to a full finish. Okay? So, great shot. Bubba, congratulations on your second major. And not that I'm suggesting that a lot of us should go out there and try to emulate that swing, but now we can understand ground forces are what's given Bubba his power. Okay, tremendous lag and a lot of talent. So for Par Breakers Golf Academy, thanks so much, as always, for listening and watching. Really appreciate it. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget that our weekly podcast on golf instruction you can subscribe to on iTunes. For Par Breakers Golf Academy, I'm Bernard Sheridan. Try to keep it in the short grass, and I'll see you next time.